Hi, this is Jonah from the National Cybersecurity Center talking about the CIS Controls. Number 7, Continuous Vulnerability Management. First, a little explainer of the controls and the implementation groups. So when you're looking at the controls, you'll see IG1, IG2, and IG3. Within each control, there's a certain number of safeguards. Here with Control 7, there are 7 safeguards. Under IG1 fall 4 of them, an additional 3 in IG2 and 0 in IG3, so we're done after IG2 with this one. All of these controls or safeguards have been mapped to the NIST CSF framework: identify, protect, detect, respond, and recover. So quick definition here of continuous vulnerability management. Develop a plan to continuously assess and track vulnerabilities on all enterprise assets within the enterprise's infrastructure. And we're looking to remediate and minimize window of opportunity, and then monitor public and private industry sources for new vulnerability information to help us in our own processes internally. Why is this control critical? Two primary reasons. The threat environment is constantly changing. Attackers are adapting and changing to the type of defenses organizations are putting up. And it's important that you prioritize when you're going through the change management process or updating different systems, that you look at the vulnerabilities that, if they were to be exploited, would have the greatest impact on your organization. So you want to tackle those first to minimize your overall financial risk exposure. Looking at implementation group number 1, 7.1, 2, 3, and 4. We're looking at, as usual with the first couple controls, having policies, processes, and procedures here. So we're looking at maintaining a vulnerability management process. How often are you reviewing and updating your documentation, especially when changes happen? When you do need to remediate something, when does it have to occur? Is it going to be immediately? And looking at that process and updating it frequently. Then we're looking at patch management for operating systems and applications. What are your policies around that, and how often are you going through that process? Implementation group number 2, looking at automated vulnerability scans of internal assets and of externally exposed assets. Lastly, here in IG2, remediating detected vulnerabilities. How often are you doing that? And again, what is your policy on if you detect a vulnerability that needs remediation? How fast does that have to happen to where you put other things aside to make sure that this remediation is covered? Key concepts here: utilize a vulnerability scanning tool for internal and outward facing applications or anything thereof. And then matching your vulnerability information with the organization's risk management program. So most likely there's going to be a risk management program that encompasses other types of risk within your organization. Cybersecurity needs to be integrated with that overall risk management program. If you have a certain level of risk tolerance or financial risk tolerance where you can say, all right, we're going to hold off on this remediating this vulnerability because we don't have the finances for it right now. We know we will in 6 months. And if something happens in the next 6 months, we know that we're able to deal with it. It's going to be different for every organization, but having that integration with your organization's risk management program is key. And then being able to leverage public information on threat intel sharing, so you know what type of threats are out there, is going to help add to your overall program here.